Hi, thanks so much for joining me. It's great to see you guys. I'm going to do a plan with me a little bit differently. Here I have a kit from Planner Envy. It was part of their subscription last year with some white pumpkins, florals, and a little bit of leopard print. I'm going to use that in my 7x9 planner, but I'd like to make some corresponding layouts inside my bullet journal. So I'm getting some of the washies. I pulled a few that I thought would match, and just using this metallic coppery color. It came either from Target or from Staples. It's just a Scotch brand, so super easy to find. And I'm going to line the bottom of every single page this week with that tape to kind of put everything together in a cohesive look. I also put this little thing together in Canva just for a weekly header. I know a lot of people do it for the month. I do it every single week since every week has kind of a different look and color theme to it, because I want it to match my my 7x9 planner. I'm also toying with the idea. Let me know what you think about this, please, in the comments. So I'm toying with the idea of, instead of using my 7x9 planner, just putting it aside for a little bit, because I'm really enjoying being in this A5 Leuchtturm, and just having one book instead of two. Because I love setting up my 7x9 planner, but after I do that, what I find is that I don't really refer to it and go back and use it very often. So I'm thinking about only using the 7x9, or as an alternative, I'm sorry, did I say that wrong? I said that wrong. I'm thinking about only using my A5, only using this A5, and then just kind of putting the 7x9 aside, or as an alternative to that, using the 7x9 as a memory keeper instead of as a planner. So thinking about those ideas, would love to hear what you guys think about it. So here I just, I made a couple of titles in Canvas, and I could use that same script that I used on the pumpkin, and I'm drawing out to-do lists. I separate them. I have 3 this week. So we'll see how that works. I usually have 2, one for work, which is the one you see now that I'm drawing out. I usually have a personal one. And then this week I'm adding one for my business. And I don't have clients right now. I do have a couple of Etsy shops and then a couple of YouTube channels. They're not money makers at all, but I do have them and I have work to put into them. I don't want to combine that with my work to-dos though. I'm thinking, because my full-time job takes priority over these other things that are on the side, and basically they're glorified hobbies, right? They're not making any money. I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I don't think that I'll make money in there. So I did a separate list this week just for those. So here I'm just tearing out, well, I'm roughly cutting, and then I'll tear out my personal tasks. And I did consider inking the edges. I love the way that looks, of inked edges when paper is torn. But if I did, I knew I would go down a rabbit hole and I would be inking edges forever, because it doesn't really look good. Tell me if you agree. I don't think it looks great for the edges of one element to be inked. If you're going to ink something, you ink every single edge. It's kind of the school of thought where I am from there. That pumpkin and washi tape that I use, I think, is from Oh Hello Stationery. Don't hold me to it, but I do believe that came in a subscription kit last fall. I think it's where I got that one, but I'm not positive. So just using that, not really to hold down those titles. I did use a tape runner and put that down, but to make it look like I did, just a tiny little embellishment with that washi in there, since this is a pretty blank page. So you'll notice here I'm drawing out a few extra check boxes at the bottom of this. This is my personal list, and this is for laundry. And I know I've explained this in other videos, but people sometimes ask. I do 3 check boxes for each laundry item, one for wash, one for dry, and then one for fold and put away. And usually I do about 6 loads of laundry a week, always only on Saturdays. I wish I could be that person who could wash, dry, and fold, put away a load of laundry every day, but I'm not that human. I will just wash it like 4 times until the next weekend, and then it's thoroughly soured. I have to wash it, I have to dry it and start over again. So a little laundry icon that I'm pulling from the Planner Envy kit there. Adding it to some washi, and that is Mid-Century Circles from Erin Condren. And then this last to-do list that I'm using is for my business. So I have a few videos that I want to film and edit and upload this week. I definitely want to add some more items to my Etsy store. It's pretty bare right now, and so it definitely needs some attention. But I want to do that this week. I have a house guest coming this week, and so I have a lot of things to front load. We'll see if this gets done also, or if it has to move to another time. And instead of drawing out the checklist, I'm going to have fewer things to do. So I just used my Zig dotted pen and made a little list like that to check off. I'm going to have fewer things to do in this one, definitely, if anything gets done with this area this week, actually. All right, turn the page and we'll flip it around a little bit. I'm going to make a calendar view, and I'd like to do a content calendar. I've got several things that need to be filmed, edited, and uploaded for this channel, and I'm considering starting another one. So it's going to be a lot of content that I need to put together, and I'm not really consistent with that. So I'm going to work on that. It is What is something shy of a goal? It is an idea for this month, and I think probably a goal for November. So we're going to see how I do with that, putting things together and being a little more organized and conscientious with what I upload, both for this channel and for another one that is right now just an idea in my head. But writing these out, I think that for this regular monthly calendar view would actually be easier to kind of absorb than a list view, kind of the classic bullet journal monthly view. I think this one would be easier. And for me, a month always begins on the Sunday and the week begins on the Monday. And I'm interested to see if you have a preference also. When you get to draw it out on your own, how do you do it when you get to choose all of the things? So I'm going to let the music run for a little bit while I finish up some of these grids and then put in the date dots. So I'm looking around for an element here to put on the corner of this page and kind of decorate it, not seeing what I want, so I'm just drawing out a little square as a placeholder, and I will either doodle something or I will find an image on Canva. But this page is going to be the meal plan for the week. Like I mentioned, I do have a house guest who is coming in, so I'm not going to need it for every day. We're going to be going out a little bit, just going through my date dots, my calendar stuff, date dots, days of the week, all that kind of good stuff. There we go. Looks like I found what I wanted there. To lay out dinners for the week, for I want to say Sunday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'm not as worried about it. If someone coming in, we're going to definitely play it by ear a lot more. It's also an odd week in that I don't really know what the custody schedule is. If you'll notice, I'm putting these down really lightly because I didn't measure anything out, and I'm not sure what I'm going to have room for. And then in a stroke of genius, I went ahead and put down 6 and just left off Sunday completely, knowing that I'll go out. So I just didn't want to bother with spacing it all out again. But there's the meal plan. And I don't know exactly what days I will have children. So it's really up in the air in a way that it ordinarily is not. So here I'm flipping back to the index. Usually I fill this out once a week. I am not the person who can go in every single time they create something and keep it updated. I'm just not that with it. But usually once a week I will go in and see what all is new and try to keep the index up to date then. Because I find that I do absolutely refer back to these sometimes several months, even 18 months back. And so I have a huge lineup of them back to June 2017, I think is when I started this. So I have them all lined up from there. Guys, I appreciate you joining me, and I hope that you will come back and see me again. Thanks so much for joining me.